All right. Good morning, everyone. I want to talk a little bit about should you sell? And very rarely we ever ask a real estate agent and they will say no, or they will always say yes, right? So I'm just going to give you some facts to help you make the decision better based on where the market is today. So first is COVID is here and it's lingering to 2021. It's not going to be gone. And in fact, probably this time next year, we'll be talking about the possibility of taking masks off, right? Let's be realistic. The second thing is COVID has caused some bleak outlooks, right, in the marketplace, moratorium, stimulus money, unemployment, and other uncertainty. So people are kind of wondering, what should I do? Where should I go? There is no doubt that COVID has told everybody that perhaps their spaces at home are a little bit too small, right? Because everybody's working from home, everyone's schooling from home, and all of a sudden that large house collapsed around you and became much smaller of a place. So I think the key here is that note that real estate is not like the stock market, right? So everyone tries to time it. They try to make these efforts to figure out when is the peak, when will it be down. And as Gary Keller said, that is not possible to estimate where the peaks and valleys will be. You could certainly tell right now we are on the rise, but that cannot last forever. Historically, it has never lasted forever. So my recommendations around this are pretty straightforward. We are not like the stock market. You're not going to gain 1,200 points and lose 1,200 points. Real estate has a tendency to have a very long tail to it. And what that means is prices go up, but when they come back down again, it takes a while for them to come back up. Right now, we have an extremely low inventory environment. We have super, super low interest rates. Sure, prices are escalating, but let's remember your low interest rate is for 30 years. If you stay on that home, that low interest rate far exceeds what you will have in terms of the typical real estate cyclical nature of pricing. It's hard to believe that prices will continue to rise forever, right? So they will flatten out eventually, and interest rates will go up. I'm hearing that we'll make it into 2021, at least the first half for interest rates. But let's keep in mind that it's supply and demand, right? The more houses that come into the market, especially during what we'll call the spring market, and they come into the market, they're going to temper the prices quite a bit. So when I'm asked that question about how do I deal with selling during COVID times, just know that people have addressed this. We've done this. This is not new. In fact, the Mars Agent Group, we rolled right into what the technologies were because we use them already. Examples, we can do virtual showings. A virtual showing is us on a Zoom showing the house live in real time, answering questions with the other agent on the buy side, as well as the buyers themselves. So they get a room for the house and it previews it before they come to your house and potentially cause any kind of problems with safety or life or health, I should say. The second piece to it is that there are other avenues we can take, right? Do a single open house. Very few homes, if they're priced appropriately, make it past the first open house. So you don't have people constantly making traffic through your home. If we launch it appropriately, we do the right things in marketing, we spend the right amount of money to market, all of a sudden your home will be on and off the market very quickly, so you don't have that traffic that most people are dreading. Now, I get questions about the holidays, right? So for the holidays, most real estate attorneys take off the last 2 weeks of the year. Congratulations, that's great because they deserve it. And then the second piece is Thanksgiving, right? So Thanksgiving's this week. It slows things down for this week and some of next, probably the tryptophan from the turkey. So the idea behind it is you want to put your house on the market at the appropriate time, and that is really dependent upon your needs. Now, one last thing, you need somewhere to go. You need to move somewhere. So there's three things I'm going to recommend. If you are considering selling your home, first of all, get your mortgage approval in place for where you're going to go to. I know that it's a tough buyer's market right now. You want to have all your ducks in a row and you get your mortgage approval in place. If you need help with that, I can send you some contacts. Determine that your income is secure, right? This is a super important part of this business, right? You want to make sure that when you buy something, you can actually pay for it and that you're not going to be at risk to So keep that in mind. And then the last and most important thing in these tough buying times are when you put your house on the market, someone's planning on moving in. Many of these buyers are coming in with non-contingent sales, so they want in eventually. If you put a 90-day close and you don't find a house, you need to have a plan B. And a plan B might be a rental, living with family, doing a Airbnb. There's lots of ways to do it, but you do need to have a plan B in place. Now, the benefit of the plan B is it allows you to have non-contingent, which makes your offer stronger. I have tons of videos about the offers, but three things you want to do. And my advice is if you were thinking about selling in the next 2 years, I would not hesitate to make a move on that in the immediate. And in the immediate, I'm talking about the January timeframe. Enjoy your holidays. get that stuff out of your system and be ready to go. One last great tip: if you have the whole house in a killer mode for holidays, let's get some pictures. I'll be happy to send my photographer out, get those pictures in advance, because what I'll do is I'll put those with the listing and everyone can see and feel how their holidays would be in your home. And I love to capture holiday photos in advance. So while you're there, do that. I hope all is well. I hope you're safe, and COVID's here and this market can't stay forever. So my advice is make a move.